It's the twinkle in the eyes that I see the bright spark. That's the true love and support coming from the heart. Up above my chakra crown is the sunflower leveled on high, is another level to mastery in my life. Once I realized the problem is an equation at the start. All my dreams that are real realities awaken from illusions that were left seen in the dark. Grand rising, kindred spirits. And for those who are new, I welcome you too. So let's jump over here and get started, okay? All right. Okay, so before we get into this discussion, small lecture, just go ahead and hit the subscribe button, that red and white button. The word subscribe is in white. Also, hit the like or thumbs up this video. Hit the notification bell so that you will receive notifications for when I upload my videos. Also, you're welcome to share this video if you find the information in here valuable to share with others. And please, I welcome your comments and questions below. If you want to speak with me privately, one-on-one, have a comment or question, my contact information will be at the end of the video as well as down in the description box. Any credits that I'm using today, I'm going to be using a video from Spiritual Science. I'm going to do my best to remember to leave the link below, as well as information from an article by George Silva. Okay, so I'm just letting y'all know that ahead of time, in the case I forget later on to mention it. All right. Okay, so I'm going to be looking down here at my notes. So I have my notes here with me. Okay. All right. So that way, I always jot down my notes so that way I don't forget. But this is what I want to say before I even begin, or at the beginning, that we all are different. I realize that. So take this information where it applies to you. And if it don't, pass it by, okay? All right, because maybe you're not on that journey. Maybe you're not experiencing any of that. Maybe your life is great. But for some of you who are experiencing it and need some of this information, you can take it to heart in your own way. Also, if you've already experienced this and you're doing great, but you just want to hear the information, I welcome you to it. Just remember, I'm not here to make you think like me. I just want you to think. I'm not here to heal you, but based on my experience and research, I am sharing my healing journey and what I went through to give you some ideas, to spark some ideas within you, to utilize your own creative powers, gifts, talents, and skills to put towards your own healing journey. Okay? So now, let's move on. Okay? So, just keep in mind many dimensional levels of awareness and vibratory frequencies. Keep this in mind. about the many dimensional levels, meaning that we all vibrate on different frequencies. So what one is experiencing or what one realizes may not be the same as what another is experiencing or realizing. They may not know where you're coming from or can relate. Even like in this video, you may can't relate, or you may can relate. Depending on your level of knowledge and experience, let's not forget the experience, because you can have knowledge and may not know what the heck it's all about until you experience. And the reason why I say that is because there were so many things I learned when I was younger that now, from experience, I grasp what's going on for me. And also keep in mind that we're all going through things differently. And we may have some similar experiences, but it may not be the exact same thing. Whereas your spiritual guide could be a family member who once lived in this dimension, whereas another one, it could be someone else, a different type of being. So our level of initiation is always personal. And that's why I don't claim to heal. Okay? Did you hear that? Our level of initiation. What am I talking about, level of initiation? Because the initiation is what initiates you into an awareness that is meant for you to ascend in vibratory frequencies or level of awareness that makes you more aware of what's going on around you, within you, and which allow you to take advantage of the energies, gifts, talents, and skills and powers that you have. Whether they are just creative on an earthly plane, or whether or not they are of a different plane, whether it's mental, emotional, spiritual, and or ether or cosmic, however you want to address it. Okay? So just be aware that, that just because you may not understand what's being said, what's going on in this video, or with anyone else who speaks this language, these codes, on this or in this vibration, does not mean that it's not real. It's just not real to you as of yet. Or maybe you're just the type of being that will never experience it, depending on what you want in life, or what you feel you need. Okay? So I just want to make these things clear. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so the brain, the mind, and logic. Let's get to the meanings, shall we? Okay, so here's an article called "How Are the Mind and the Brain Different?" And we're going to base it today on what a neuroscientist by the name of Dr. Carolyn Leaf. We're going to use her article for today. Not necessarily meaning that it is all right and exact, but for those people who need some kind of receipts from someone with some letters behind their name. So this is what she says. So what exactly is the difference between the mind and the brain? Well, the mind is separate, yet inseparable from the brain. The mind uses the brain, and the brain responds to the mind. The mind also changes the brain. People choose their actions, their brains do not force them to do anything. Yes, there will be no conscious experience without the brain, but experience cannot be reduced to the brain's actions. The mind is energy, and it generates energy through thinking, feeling, and choosing. It is our aliveness without which the physical brain and body would be useless. That means we are our mind, and mind in action is how we generate energy in the brain. Okay, let me stop sharing right there. Oh, I thought I paused it. I guess I didn't. Okay, so this, just want to make sure, let me see. My apologies for all of that back and forth type thing. So anywho, just to show you some receipts based on the American Heritage Dictionary of the English Language, 5th edition, logic is a noun. It's the study of the principles of reasoning, especially of the structure of propositions as distinguished from their content and method and validity in deductive reasoning. Okay, a system and or mode of reasoning. Okay, and according to Wikipedia, logic is the study of correct reasoning or good arguments. It is often defined in a more narrow sense as the science of deductively valid inferences or of logical truths. Okay, so now I want to distinguish according to an article written by Mike Lear. Now, you want to know who Mike Lear is? You can look him up, but this is the spelling of his name right here. Mike, L-E-H-R, okay? And he wrote this back on June 25th, 2012 about feelings, emotions, intuition, and their differences. Okay, and this is his analogy or food analogy. When it comes to feelings, emotions, intuition, and their differences, a food analogy helps. Here feelings are ingredients. Emotions are the foods. Intuition is the meal. In this sense, feelings from emotions. Feelings are the raw materials. Emotions move us. Latin breaks emotion into emotion. That means to bring out motion or energy in motion is what I say. Thus, emotions move us to think, do, or say something. In the food analogy, we make foods. That's the action. Yet going further, the foods together give us insights. The foods say something about the meal. That meal can tell us something about what's going on. It can tell us something about the culture. Perhaps it's a celebration. That's intuition. Intuition works the same way from emotions. Okay, so let me stop sharing that, okay? So a lot of this, we refer these emotions, feelings, and intuitions to the physical heart. Of course, the physical heart is an organ in the physical realm, found in the chest cavity behind the ribs, okay, which pumps blood, okay, all right, and you put your hands on your heart, you can feel it, and sometimes you can feel little palpitations depending on the situation. I don't, whether it's medical or just, in excitement, okay. So I'm trying not to be all over the place because I'm going somewhere with all of this information, all right? So bear with me. So we've established the heart is physical. Emotions are those reactions that you experience based on your thoughts or outside influences, whether it be sadness, happiness, excitement, joy, pleasure, etc. Intuition is where the mind and emotions comes together, or let me say the mind and feelings come together. And intuition is where it's the act of distinguishing what's being felt. Trying to come to a reasoning, a logical reasoning of what we're feeling from within. What's that intuition? What's that I'm feeling? So feeling can also deal with touch, to feel, or distinguishing an emotional interaction with our mind, trying to perceive, or perception, a process of perception or perceiving what we're feeling from within, based on a conscious, or let's say etherical connection that we're having from something outside of ourselves, trying to perceive, process the messages that we're getting. We're feeling messages that we're trying to determine through logic what's being felt. Now, shall I repeat that? Because I think I repeated it probably 3-4 times. We'll try to define it in many different ways. Okay? All right. So, when processing logic and emotions, they come together and work hand in hand when they're not chaotic. Sometimes the male is a representation of logic. And when I say male, I'm not talking about a man. Okay? I'm talking about the masculine energy, or the male representation of that masculine energy. Again, I'm not speaking about the man. And emotions is the energy representation of the female or feminine energy. An energy that we all have. We have both masculine and feminine, positive and negative. Now, when we say positive and negative, we can't look at it from a physical standpoint when speaking on feminine and masculine energies, because they work interchangeably. And when I say interchangeably, it's depending on the situation at hand and how we respond, which we were giving will, and will is decision-making, the ability to make a choice, to tether from side to side in our decision-making, and even with our emotions, because we use our intuition, which includes emotions and thought, how we feel. So let's use all of these, because sometimes, we can't just define them as emotions, sad, excitement. Sometimes it's those feelings that sometimes we say comes from the heart, or that is emotional, because they say we're emotional women or emotional beings. We all utilize emotions. Some of us use them differently. So when it comes to processing messages that we're getting from outside of ourselves, energies that we see and don't see. And for those who do not believe in the unknown, that's your problem, not mine. That's a problem that has to be resolved within yourself. And some of us are just not created to experience such situations or matters. Or maybe it's you just haven't experienced it. Yes. So let's not be so quick to judge another because something you don't understand or overstand or withstand or stand. Okay. So I'm bringing all of this together to get you to understand what's in control, because the heart or let me not say heart means physical, but yet that is the area. Just like when we think, that is the area. So they operate separately, one being masculine, one being feminine. And even though they operate separately sometimes, let me make that clear, they also operate cooperatively. And this is when we utilize our intuition, because we're trying to logically understand, meaning go inside and listen to the voice within, what we call the heart space, the chakra, and I will get into that. We are trying to make sense of something that we're feeling on an energetic level. We're trying to distinguish what is really going on. Our mind, by way of thoughts, is also processing and trying to perceive, what is this energy that's unknown to me that I'm feeling? Remember, you have unseen energies and seen energies coming from different sources around us, whether it be from nature, from another being, or just something unseen. Okay? All right. Let me pause for a second. So what I'm trying to gather with the information I just shared with you, helping you to understand, understand the operations or performances of the mind, the brain, logic, the heart, emotions, feelings, intuition, so that you would know how to utilize those tools to help you get past certain situations in your life when it comes to healing. Okay? So let me back up and say, these are the tools I use. You have to use them all, even certain things on the physical level that needs to be utilized or sometimes need to be utilized in order to get past challenging situations. Remember, what a man thinketh, so is he. Because whatever you think sometimes influences how you feel, how you're going to feel. And sometimes how you feel can influence your thoughts. Because sometimes you could be thinking before you feel, and sometimes feelings just come before you think. And it could operate differently depending on who you are. Maybe you don't get feelings, experience emotions. Then maybe you're a robot, some kind of different kind of being. So I'm not talking to you, okay? Maybe you're an AI, one of them newly created beings, clones. I don't know. I've never heard a clone tell me what their experiences are. So let's talk to the humans and the other beings of higher consciousness that was born into this world, who understand, overstand, and have an essence of soul or spirit. Okay? Because all plant beings, animal beings, insect, well, I don't know about insects. Maybe they do. I think they do, because it's an energy. It's an energy that's given off in order for them to sense instincts, feel some kind of way. Okay? All right. So this is where all of this information that I just shared to help you utilize some of those tools in order to get through trying times. Trying times that at some point in our life, we experience it. And when we experience it, we should take the time instead of ignore it, rebound it with something or someone else or someplace else. Rebound meaning ignoring the problem and finding a solution, but the problem is still there. This is why later on in life, we have unresolved issues that surface later in life because we do not resolve them once they take place. And I am guilty. Okay? A lot of us are probably guilty of it. Okay? So, in my notes, I put removing depression, anxiety, worry, stress, etc. Removing or releasing these emotions, okay, that affect the mind and heart. It takes time, determination, focus, and imagination with some creative action and questioning on our part, which is also the energy you direct towards and into your healing rituals or processes. These are some helpful tools, along with some other tools. Some people use journaling. Some people stand in the mirror and talk to themselves to get through to themselves. If you want to see me act some things out, like let's say I get anxiety, I get worried, nervous, a little stressed out, have some panic attacks when I feel like I have a financial obligation that I can't meet. And it stems from something in the past and what I have not dealt with that now is surfacing because I wasn't taught how to deal with them. So now I'm having to stand in the mirror, or if not in the mirror, just talk to myself and be like, okay, Anita, what's going on? You hear the question? What's going on? Let's deal with this. Let's think about this. What is it I'm not seeing? What is it I'm not hearing? What is it I don't know? These are questions. Now, I ask my higher self, help me to know to answer these questions so that I may get past with what I'm dealing with, whether it's depressions, worries, anxieties, nerves, stress, panic attacks. We got to take it a little bit at a time because it's not going to disappear overnight. Because even though we do these things, it's a belief system, what you feel, belief, what you know to be true for you. And in getting to know what's true for you, you got to get to know you, reflect, introspect, investigate your very thoughts, memories, accessing these, trying to remember. Sometimes you can't reflect off the top of your head, then you get a journal and write some things down that you remember from childhood. What happened? How did it start? Where did it start? When you had to deal with such. And where and when did the depression start to kick in? These are every aspects of ourselves that we have to examine, to open up ourselves and hearts to. You're getting to know you on a human level. The spirit being have the memories. The spirit being is the essence of the Most High, granted to you to give you the will to choose and make decisions. It's your higher self within and around yourself that you should trust in to help you to resolve and come to solutions to problems. Let's pause for a second. So with all of this being said, examples being given or information shared, articles shared, just to let you know in this video, I'm not here to help you solve any problems right here and right now, because it's a number of you watching this video. I am giving you some of my methodologies and experiences and research. Also, I'm going to take it to another level to allow you to see how I connect it to consider it my methodology of awareness, to make you alert and understand why you go through this. Who goes through this? When you go through this? You know? And of course, I'm not going to pinpoint when, a time. I'm not going to even be able to pinpoint a place. But if I pinpoint a place, the place is within you. Home. Within you. Because the human experience is just an illusion. In which we utilize this experience to learn so that we may ascend in vibratory frequencies to master this existence in which we are living. So, going to school or university or some institution, government, and all of this in this realm is a copy, is a physical copy of spiritual experiences It's more coded here in the physical realm, in what the blueprint plan that was already written and established on a spiritual level. I hope you understand that. But if you don't, just keep hitting repeat until you get it, until you feel it, and it makes sense to you. Okay? So, as I said, using creative actions, questionings, and like I said, creative actions, utilize some tools, get creative with it, go out in nature. That's why they say nature can be healing in dealing with some things. Yeah, I go out and walk in the sun, I'll touch the tree or something like that. Every now and again, when I feel like a dog ain't poo-pooed all over the place or the duck ain't poo-pooed all over the place or whatever, I'll stick my feet in some grass. I like it to be an area where I don't have to worry about putting my feet on something, Anywho, you get what I'm doing. If you don't, like I said, rewind this video and keep listening. Or just overlook the joke. So, like I said, that this experience is like a school. The word school comes from the Hebrew word shul, which means hell. So they're telling you right there and then, send your child to school, send your child to hell. But are we not in hell? Some of the things that people go through, I don't want to, because hell is not actually a place, it's a state of mind. Just like depression is a state of mind. Happiness is a state in how we feel. And we define it with the mind as happiness. It's all a state of the mind, a state or level, frequency, energy of the heart or emotion. Intuitive definition of the states. Meaning all of it is an illusion. You can move back and forth in frequency in your energies to put yourself there. Once you get yourself out of the mental prison of thinking that you are depressed, you're depressing your energies to a level of a lower state. You're putting yourself in that state. No one can bring you out of it. Because no matter, even as I sit here and say all of this, it really doesn't matter. It's really determined based on your mind. And sometimes our mind and how we feel can become habitual, which some people say bad habits are hard to break. So constantly thinking and feeling a certain way can become habitual. So how do you break these habits? It's determination, passionate, angry to come out of it. Angry enough, passionate enough, determined and focused enough to come out of it. So the way you got yourself into the habit, day after day after day, of constantly feeling a certain way, meaning it might take that much time or less, depending on your determination. The emotion you put into it, the anger. I'm so angry, I want to get to happiness. I'm angry at myself for putting myself in this bad habit, for forming it. Okay, I know I'm kind of exaggerating, but you know, this is sometimes how I handle it. I do. Literally, I do. And sometimes they come with tears because I'm fighting. I am fighting that part of me that allowed myself to get to that point because I didn't know then how to deal with it. So now I'm having to deal with my own BS because it's your own BS, depression, anxiety, nervous, and all that other stuff. Stress, it's all on you. Ain't nobody did it to you. Because even if you said, well, this abusive man beat me, so now, well, you allowed him because you stayed. Where this woman, she had some good that had me hypnotized. Well, you realize you was hypnotized. Now you got to unhypnotize yourself because you allowed it. Once you realize how good it was, you had a decision to make. And sometimes, in order to learn, sometimes you have to go through with the process of the good. The good is so good that it become a bad habit. You get me? I hope you do. So, like meditation, in order to get a clear, blank mind, you allow the inner images to pass. So, what am I talking about here? So, over a period of time, to break the habits you no longer want in your life, I compare it to meditation for those who understand meditation. Because in meditation, let me just kind of, like in meditation, in order to get a clear mind, because they say when you meditate, the mind is supposed to be clear of images. You're supposed to get to the point of mastering your mind to the point where no thoughts or images enter in. So in that process of meditation, you're sitting there, and as pictures come in, you know, you don't block them. You're like, you just let them come through and let them pass by. Experience it, get it out your system. That's basically just let it pass. Oh, get it out your system. Okay, okay, I see you. Okay, bye. Okay, that's gone. Okay. What do I want to see? Blank, blank, blank. Okay, I'm doing my best to give you some examples to help you get a picture for yourself and how you want to heal thyself, to get to know thyself first. So I said here, don't fake it and try to hold them back from your mind, but allow them to flow through and pass out. Let it flow through and pass out. Flow through and pass out, whichever way they're coming in, you know, because I'm telling you, it feels good to be thinking, you know, the mind, you know, that the mind does not want to be watched. Let that be known. Yeah, Dr. Malachi York told me about that. And it's true, because when you try to be blank and just focus on making the mind at peace and keep it still, the mind is like, this heifer is watching me. Or this dude watching me. Ain't nobody got time for that. Let's put some images up in there. Let's throw some thoughts. And then you realize, thinking, let me get back. Woo, let it pass on out. Let it pass on out. Don't get mad and stop the meditation or stop what you're doing. Let it pass out. So that's with the meditation. So then it's like when you're breaking habits, take your time, but don't take too long to get over it. So then create the opposite or desired picture or image you want to bring into existence. So depression. To get to the level of being depressed, It involves you creating images and thoughts in your mind that will make you feel a certain way. And you dwell on those images and thoughts and you keep them there because it has made you feel comfortable all this time. And to try to go the other way, away from your comfort, even though you want the riches of the world, but you're comfortable with poverty mind, or low self-esteem, or the lower self. You don't got comfortable in being in the physical world. Darn, because I think about it too. I be thinking, oh boy, I just went to the grocery store and bought me some dark chocolate covered almonds and stuff. Dang, I gotta ascend. Hold on, can I eat all of my food that I done bought first? So you compare that with fasting. All that good food in the house, and you telling me to fast? Come on now, fast once in a month. Cleanse that system at least once a month. Sacrifice. So sacrifice comfort, because I'm telling you, it's going to feel like a comfort to try to pull yourself away from depression, anxiety, worries, stress, nervous, all that lower area of thinking and feeling. It's going to feel like being in the bed. But for some of y'all, it might feel like something very intimate. It's like eating your favorite food. That's why sometimes when people get depressed, they eat. And if they don't eat, you got some who don't eat. They just stuck in the thoughts in their head and in their feelings. And then the energy is so heavy, they don't feel like doing nothing but laying in the bed. Okay? So this is why you have to be determined. The mind and the heart has to be determined, focused, and imagine with some creative action and questioning. You have to be your own parent. You have to be your own support system. Don't expect somebody else outside of you. If you're getting to know you, you don't need to include nobody outside of you to do this. You got to do this your dang self. So you got to parent yourself. Parenting. Self-parenting. That's what we're going to call it. Is that a word? It is. Self is a word. Self-parenting. If your parents, you got to parent yourself. You got to be your own support system, self-support. Because ain't nobody else going to always be there for you to help you. So, if you there, but I want my mama, I want my daddy, or somebody to love me. Love you now. Be your biggest fan. Cheer yourself on. Well, how do I do that, Anita? Sometimes turn on some music that's saying some good things, that's making you feel good. Some R&B. Something that's gonna make you dance and make you forget about it, even though you might be feeling, but don't get no food. Unless it's some fruits and stuff like that, or some water, drink it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever creative endeavor or tools on your endeavor you want to use it. So inwardly realizing what illusions and delusions are that you're creating for yourself. Because all that depression stuff and all that other stuff is just an illusion. And who am I to say that the next day, one day you want to high, the next day on a low, because it's not going to happen overnight. So you're going to experience some highs and lows. And who's to say I'm not? I'm trying not to speak that into existence for myself. I want to continue to feel good, but it happens. I get it. I get them thoughts, negative thoughts. That's what we call it, negative. Unwanted thoughts. And we got to find something to let the negative thought come through and be like, negative thought, what the hell? What the hell you want now? Like, I ain't got time for you. I'm sick of it. Get it out. However you do it. Okay? So, understand your use of words when speaking to your higher power or out to the universe. Okay. So, basically, you can't say, I don't want to feel bad, because what you're really saying, because the universe, the Most High, God, and all of them, you got to speak their language. And their language may not include don't. Because remember, you're speaking an English language that is, the English language or American language is composed of other languages. And sometimes what they call colloquialisms, just made up words. So you got to speak the word of spirit. You can't say I don't, I'm not, I ain't finna, I don't want it, wouldn't, shouldn't, couldn't. No, you got to, if you say you don't want something, just say, I want to release. Find words that's going to define your negatives, like don't, not, shouldn't, couldn't, wouldn't, all that other stuff. I release. I want to stop drinking alcohol so much, or I want to stop eating so much. I want to stop being depressed. I release depression. I remove it from my energy field. Okay? You got to speak the language. Speak the language. And, I'm not here to give you all the details. Okay? I'm just giving you some surface stuff. I ain't gonna hold your hand. If you want a one-on-one with me, I put the information at the end of the video and down in the description box. So now let's get into explaining these chakras. So now we finna take it to another level to help you understand and understand that you're not just a human. You're for real, a spiritual being. Whether your spirit is here to do bad or here to do good, because spirit being can be either or. You know what I'm saying? Haven't you heard the good angels and the bad angels, or the masculine energized angels, the feminine? Yeah. Okay, so let me explain. When we speak on the lower self, we're talking about the root chakra. So the root chakra, the color is red, and is usually the location of that chakra is the perineum area between the well, let's just say is very close to the anus region down there. All right. If you don't know what the anus is where you where the fecal stuff come out. That part right there. Yeah, it's next door to it. Not further back behind it, but between the anus and for the men, it might be the testicles, or the penile between that area right there. And the element is of earth, which is letting you know it's on the physical level. The dealings, the areas, and how it affects, or the effects, stability, security, stamina, endurance. Okay. The sacral chakra is the top of the genital organ. And when I say genital organ, let's go inside. For the women, is above where the uterus, the top of the uterus. And for the man, it's probably a little bit lower, above, from the inside to the extension of it on the inside, the tip of it, not the tip of on the outside of you, but let's go inside, okay? Let's go inside. All right. And the color it represents is orange. The element is water. Water. And it deals with pleasure, sexuality, longevity. Solar plexus, or also known as the navel chakra. The color is represented by yellow, and it's just below your navel. It is the element of fire, because solar, that comes from within. The solar plexus. Okay. And it's determined by, or effects, or power, hunger, nourishment, and dynamism. The dynamics. So I said dynamics. Dynamism. All right. Heart chakra, which is represented by the color green, and it is below the rib junction. Okay. But the actual chakra area, not the heart, is the chakra, right below the rib, right up in there. Feels good. And the element is air, and it deals with kindness, love, and compassion. Then we have the throat chakra, which is represented by the color blue, or light blue, to be exact. And it is found, the chakra is found at the pit of the throat. The pit of the throat. All right. And here they you know, you got different religions who refer to elements differently than what we do. You know, the Hindus, or any of the whoever, I'm sorry, not whoever, but some of them refer to it as the space element, or cosmic, going out like in utilizing the cosmic materials, something that's not found on Earth, or AKA air element. And it is determined by speech, communication, and purity. So then the sixth chakra is the third eye chakra, which the color may be like a royal or a darkish blue. That color is represented by that color, and is found in the junction of the eyebrows, between the eyebrows. Okay. Some people eyebrows go straight like this. Of course, mine's dip, but you know, right up in there. Also associated with the pineal gland. Okay, but I didn't get into glands with the others, so we're not going to go there. All right. And its element is ether. It's an ether connection. Some of you might just say, Anita, just say air. Well, there's another element. It's called ether. Okay, so I'm going to refer to ether. Don't try to correct me. But it's okay to give some of your suggestions, some of your thoughts and opinions, or other findings. Okay. And it's determined by speech, I'm sorry, not speech. Its effects are determined by sight, perception, and intelligence. Okay. Then the seventh chakra is considered the crown chakra. The color is represented by royal purple. Some people might just say indigo, or I forgot, magenta. I don't know, but I'm going to say royal purple because that's what it looks like to me, or purple. Okay, and it's found at the top of the head, the area in which where when you were born, it was open. They called it the soft spot, crown of the head. All right, and this element is ether also. And the effects are determined by selflessness and a deep sense of your authentic self, the spirit being, the other sense that you sense. Okay, so why am I speaking on all these things? As I said earlier, you have your lower self and then you have your higher self. When you get away from the earthly elements, water, air, earth, fire, then you get to the next element, which is more energetic, that we call ether. That sometimes that we experience as light, not the light you turn on, but for those who experience little light specks, sparks of light that you see sometimes, you're experiencing the ether realm. And sometimes the ether realm can be defined or experienced as lights, whatever color you see. So let me share something with you just before I get into explaining anything else. I want to share this with you, okay? I know this video is probably a little bit long, but it's okay. It's okay. It's gonna be all right. If you fill in the information, say amen or say a woman. Okay, so you see, this is the name of the video. You know, you can go and look it up. I was thinking about putting the link down there, but make it easy on me. Or should I make it easy on y'all? Y'all are so lazy. Let me give y'all an exercise to do. Some homework. Go look this up. See where it is, and it's on YouTube. Just go look it up yourself. Okay? All right, so this is what I want to share.
The power of life is the pattern of how consciousness creates reality. It creates through spheres of awareness in the void to create conceptions of space and dimensional consciousness field that is interacting with itself by expanding its awareness within as well as outside of itself. Every time it expands, it can go deeper in understanding what itself is by experiencing itself and creating something new. From the flower of life manifesting, there are 5 basic structures that come into manifestation first, which are the elemental forces of energy. From there, they continually fractals into smaller and smaller aspects and variations of each other to create, more specifically, the details of the reality. The important thing to remember with this geometry is that you are it, and it is you. It is everything in the universe, which includes your consciousness. Many of you out there might see this and say, oh, that's cool, but not really know how to integrate it into your being, knowing, and everyday life. There are a few ways to do this, and if you really want to understand, do all of them. First thing you can do is get a compass and practice drawing it yourself. Try a number of times to connect different points to each other and make different shapes and geometries. Every geometry has a meaning. A good example is the 5 platonic solids we've discussed before. Every shape has a relationship to the 4 elements which structure the universe and the 5th element of life. And yes, the movie, The 5th Element, was all about that. Go watch it again. You wouldn't believe the symbolism in there. Of course, continue to learn about it and allow the information to flow. Test its resonance against your heart and see how the information feels. Drumbelo's The Ancient Secret of the Flower of Life books are very deep and have a lot of information as well. And we have links to them on our website, or even better, check out Drumbelo's website. Besides those, my favorite way to get into the fleur de life is to play Helixolay. Helixolay is a game developed by David Beeler, a very amazing being in Asheville, North Carolina. Elixir is a game of creation and expansion of ideas and demonstrates through the flower of life how all things are connected. The way you play this game is by creating a flower of life pattern, or even just a seed of life, and begin to explore the connection of ideas. The universe is thought, then this should be a natural progression. In the first sphere, in the middle, start with the first thought, which can be whatever you want. You can connect it with a question if you're trying to find out something, or try and find a much broader picture of that simpler idea. For this demonstration, we're going to start with spirit, as it is the title of our show. And then we find connections based on that original word. Spirit, consciousness, connects with everything. Creation could link with evolution, change. And finally, all of these together can create experience. Remember that there's an infinite number of possibilities as what gets written here. And as long as it feels right, keep going with it. Then we continue. Life and consciousness breathe humans, us. Human consciousness is connected to source consciousness. Source and everything are energy, which creates a balance with creation. Creation and balance means that there would be two, and two, creation and evolution, makes for movement. Direction comes out of evolution and movement, which leads to purpose. Purpose and change create obstacles, which leads to furthering our knowledge. Through knowledge and experience, we get wisdom, which through life breeds understanding. Humans' understanding is deep. Deep within the heart of our human spirit is a flame, a light that never goes out. It can appear in our ambition, and which, with a lot of energy, can move rapidly. Rapid energy yields high frequency. This can yield harmony and flow with the balance of the poles to create a dance. Pole shift comes from movement of the poles through a dance, which of course brings us ascension. With the direction and ascension, we create a new earth. We're almost done. Our purpose and direction in the new earth is to create and heal. Let's write healing. With our healing purpose, there can be some obstacles which manifest as challenges, and we can hold fear about them. But it's okay. With our knowledge we acquired, we create breakthroughs for ourselves and empower us to use the wisdom and understanding to become a master. Wasn't that fun? Try that on your own.
Okay. So I wanted you to see that because I wanted you to get an idea of life and what you go through and what we all go through. And let me give an example of myself, but not really based on what that video just said. I came to realize, I had to think back to when I was a little girl. I liked sunflowers. So now I kind of use that emoji in my representation, unless somebody else is using it. But for the most part, I like to use sunflowers in my emojis, or just, I like sunflowers. And why I like sunflowers, it reminds me of seeing the sun in a physical form where I have access to it in the form of a flower. Okay? Now, when we get into the chakras, you're dealing with your lower self, your higher self, certain things you're dealing with, what is determined by. Now, mind you, those are just a few effects or determinations. Like I said, your root chakra deals with stability, security, stamina, endurance, material. You can use, there are other words to describe earth element or the material plane, depending on your journey, the journey that you're on. Okay? So we all have a mission, we have a purpose, and we delve in every parts of life, whether it's religion, politics, spirituality, metaphysics, whatever part of life. We also delve in some of the negative parts of life, so we are understanding that part of us that went against wanting to operate in one energy. Some of us was just all positive and wanted to experience the negative here on earth. Some of us were negative beings and wanted to come here and experience the positive. Some of us just wanted to come here or needed to come here to master the human experience and experience both in human form, both masculine and feminine energies. So we go from the root chakra to the crown chakra, and you ask, or I ask, where we go from there. But there are other levels of development and levels or dimensions to learn. Why I mentioned the sunflower. Well, let me share something with you to kind of help you see where I'm going. So what do sunflowers represent? And I'm going to kind of just based on George Silva, if you want to go and see this article, his website is called Angelica Balance. This is just me putting it into words based on what he have. I'm not going to go into too much details of what he have written. I'm just going to look at the surface part. So he has representation, happiness, desire to succeed, trust and confidence. Some other symbolisms, love, the sun, good fortune, etc. There's more here. You want to go and see. You know, of course, there is a balance, and he gives the black sunflower represents mystery and deep betrayal, and the red sunflower, you know, different types of sunflowers and what it means. But I just wanted you to get a gist of where I was going with this. So basically, what I am saying is, why am I attracted to the sunflower? Unconsciously, not even realizing that there is a level above the crown chakra on a different level of awareness. So when you go from the third eye, which gives you some perspective, intuitive knowing, then you open up to another level of self-awareness or your authenticity, your spirituality, which brings you to other levels or that are represented by flowers, maybe other colors, or so on and so forth, numbers, codings. So the sunflower, from a metaphysical sense, my journey for me, the representation of the sunflower, is to achieve a certain level of happiness. Truth. I am a truth seeker. I want the truth. Okay? Joy. But that's just that level of awareness, that part of my journey. On a human level, there's another journey that I'm on as a human and what I am to experience. So it brings us back to all of the emotions, chaos with emotions, what we sense through intuition, things that we think about, what we observe, what we reflect on, what we experience, how we interact, just so much. And Earth School itself giving us all of these illusions to keep us distracted and focus on the lower realm. Because whatever beings are here that are enjoying themselves, wanting to control others outside of themselves makes you think about the control that you want. And a lot of times, based on influence, we've been taught to control other people, compare ourselves to other people, instead of focusing and reflecting on what's meant for us and controlling ourselves by releasing the chaos of the mind, releasing the chaos of emotions and feelings. And in that same perspective of releasing, before you can even release, we are comparing the two and questioning them to get to an understanding and an understanding of why we are experiencing them. It's a part of our journey, getting past our lower nature so that we can vibrate higher at a higher frequency so that we can ascend. Coming in contact with nature and what's best for our bodies. Notice I said what's best for our bodies, because not everyone nourishment is the same. Depending on your physical makeup, that's meant for you. That's for your nourishment. And I thought like this when I was a vegan, until I noticed my hair is thinning and my skin started looking kind of pale or bad. I was feeling bad. Just things was going on with me that helped me to realize that I need more nourishment than what vegetables can offer me. Now, am I eating pork and all that stuff? No. Beef, no. Too heavy. And it's just not meant for me. But yet this is why I say our journey is personal. It's a one, a by yourself thing. Because even if you're a twin, you may have been in a womb together, but when you come through that birth canal, you come through that birth canal one by one, and maybe one make it through the birth canal and the other one has to be cut out. So our travels into this realm is different. One by one, we came. So we should not compare our journey, our initiation into a higher frequency of ascension to the next person and tell the next person what is for them. All we can do is what I am doing is putting out my experiences on how I am dealing with my issues and what I have experienced and sharing it with you. Because I'm not here to make you think like me. Yet, I would like for you to think. I hope that you think for the betterment of yourself. I'm not here to heal you. I don't claim that I'm here to heal, but I teach you and share with you some of my creative endeavors and tools that I use for myself so that you can come up with your own creative ideas and tools to use for yourself. Just look at me as motivation, inspiration to assist you, because that's what I did. Other people were my inspiration, my motivation. But I had to utilize what's best for me and my journey and growth in my path, because I'm in it alone. Yet I am interdependent upon observing what's around me to utilize for the best of me, for what's best for me on my journey. And if I come up with something totally different from what I'm observing around me, I will share. And maybe it's something that you can tap into to utilize for you, if it's meant for you. So you have to do what's meant for you. Okay? Of course, you can probably experiment with the idea. Let's say being a vegan. Experiment with being a vegan. Experiment doing yoga, exercise. It's different for everyone. Rely upon your own creative powers to help you ascend on your earthly journey. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. I appreciate love it. I appreciate love it. And all that I have not included in this video or talked about, maybe I've forgotten to speak on, then you can insert where I left off and share in the comment section. I appreciate that. All right, y'all have a great rest of your weekend. Today is Sunday, June 18th, 2023, and I am ending this video now at 4:29, maybe 4:30, depending on how I shut this down. But anyway, I'm out. Hi, my name is AnitaYarbrough, and I am your holistic healing life coach and counselor. I bring to you today my signature programs based on healing transformations that align purpose. My first signature program, self-authentication based healing. This paradigm shifting and transformative based program is designed to share life experiences due to the changing times we're in to assert your self-authenticating willpower. In this program, you will learn the importance of healing to help lead the way towards understanding a new age mindset that promotes creative holistic living for unlocking your purpose. Transform and align with your purpose in any area you choose. Within these changing times, by trying a new approach to tasks and or activities to gain courage and confidence. Feel free to accept the changes in the world and experience the new, real you without judgment from yourself and others. Learn to accept uncontrollable circumstances. Let go of the past and activate a new you. Overcome blockages on your way towards your newfound freedom after attending this life-changing presentation. After this program, you will be able to learn the difference between using logic and intuition, understand how your belief systems influence your authenticity. Learn the importance of balancing your light and dark psyche. Use mental and emotional coping techniques to transcend traumas and pain to start the healing process. Gaining self-acceptance to heal through self-talk and expression. My second signature program is lifestyle-based healing. This life building and knowledge based program is designed to help you succeed in the next phase of transformational growth during these changing times to enhance your development. In this session, you will learn how to tap into your natural survival resources and following the intuitive influences that open your eyes to new pathways of living, achieve greater results, and supercharge your mission by creating a new lifestyle. You will come to understand how to discipline your body, your mind, and spirit to prepare the unexpected and expected changes in your life, inside and out. Inspire others to do the same. Become efficient and improve functionality after this enlightening presentation. After this program, you will be able to learn what your limits are towards change, learn how to replace unwanted habits with better practices, identify your stress triggers and traumas to make changes, and self-heal. Learn about inner and outside influences that affect your lifestyle. Understand how good health practices establishes great wealth to enhance a certain lifestyle. Learn the importance of your survival and creating your new life and what it takes to sustain a new lifestyle. Expose your toxicities before incorporating new lifestyle changes. Now, this third signature program is my communication-based healing. This mind-enriching session will teach you how to express and communicate your thoughts and feelings. Demonstrate many ways to communicate your subconscious mind to gain control of your life. The strategies in this portion of the program will fine-tune your communication skills within these changing times by using your childlike imagination to promote healing and find your confidence to better express yourself. Learn how to analyze the communication style of others, which better helps with understanding how to communicate. So after this presentation, you will be able to achieve a life of mastery that is limitless. So after this program, you will be able to learn to listen to your true voice, to break your own hypnotic spell, learn importance of self-talk, creatively express your imagination to welcome in the healing process, learn and understand different communication styles, find out how to communicate commands to your subconscious mind to create change. Now, this last signature program is community-based healing. This approach into the community dynamics during these times of change will alter your reality to identify patterns in situations and know when to seek solutions. Learn the positives and negatives of comparisons and judgments that are used within your environment or community. Learn tactics to break away from the trends within your environment and community that are presently not realized as mind control tools. Learn manifestations for your ideal environment or community, which can influence and become impressionable to others. Before this presentation ends, it will empower your every move. So after this program, you will be able to understand how to manifest your needs and wants, recognizing patterns that will create solutions for a better change, learn how to recognize individuals of bad or good influence in your space, understand how making peace with yourself can become a masterpiece for an ideal community, create better habits and practices that will help you attain the peace you so desire, and design and create a space that cannot be compared to others. I would like to thank you for taking time out in your busy day and joining me or sitting with me in learning more about my signature programs. As I always tell others, I am not here to make you think like me. I just want you to think. Again, thank you and have a great rest of your day.